7 Underdog trucks that never break down. Most people think they've heard it all when it comes to reliable trucks. They know the Cummins, they know the Hilux. But as a mechanic for over 23 years, I know there's a second tier of legendary machines, underdogs, that often fly under the radar, but possess engines that are just as immortal. While the rest of the world is chasing the same 3 models, the smart money is looking for the honest engineering hidden in these 7 trucks. If you want a drivetrain that survives long after the modern plastic-filled light shows have been crushed for scrap, these are the machines you need to know about. Number 7 is the first-generation Nissan Frontier, specifically the D22 platform with the KA24 DE 2.4-liter 4-cylinder. Most people ignore these because they aren't as prestigious as a Toyota, but mechanically, they are built like iron. The KA24 is a dual overhead cam engine that Nissan perfected in their sports cars before detuning it for truck duty. It uses a heavy-duty timing chain instead of a belt, and a cast iron block that can handle incredible amounts of thermal stress. Technically, it is a very simple engine. No complex variable valve timing to fail, no turbochargers to leak oil. Just a solid, high-torque 4-cylinder that refuses to quit. I've seen these trucks in my shop with 300,000 miles that still have perfect compression across all 4 cylinders. The bodies might rust, and the interiors are basic, but that engine is a survivor. Currently, you can pick these up for anywhere between $3,500 and $7,500. It is one of the best bang-for-your-buck reliability plays left. And while the Nissan is a great small truck, the next machine on our list is an American legend that uses a V6 so durable, it's basically half of a legendary V8. Number 6 is the Chevrolet S10, equipped with the 4.3-liter Vortec V6. Many people don't realize that the 4.3 is essentially a 5.7-liter 350 V8 with 2 cylinders cut off. It shares the same piston diameter, the same rod design, and the same heavy-duty architecture as the small block Chevy. This is a pushrod engine, meaning no overhead cams and no complex timing chains to stretch. From a mechanic's perspective, this is a lazy engine. It makes its power low in the RPM range, which reduces internal wear significantly. These trucks are famous for hitting 250,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and the occasional alternator. The only known issue is the fuel injection spider assembly on early models, which is a one-time fix. Prices for these are still very reasonable, usually ranging from $4,000 to $9,000 for a clean example. It's an honest, hard-working American V6 that values your wallet. But if you prefer a straight 6 layout, the most balanced engine design ever made, the next truck is a cult classic that refuses to die. Number 5 is the Jeep Comanche, specifically the models featuring the AMC 4.0-liter inline 6. This engine is arguably one of the best gasoline engines ever produced on American soil. It is a non-interference engine, meaning even if the timing chain were to fail, which it almost never does, the valves won't hit the pistons. It is a sanctuary of mechanical safety. The block is made of a high-nickel cast iron that is incredibly resistant to wear. In my 23 years of work, I have rarely seen an AMC 4.0 with internal failure unless it was run completely out of oil. It is a tractor engine and a small truck body. Because these are becoming classics, prices are rising, typically sitting between $8,000 and $16,000 for one that hasn't been abused off-road. You're buying a piece of history that actually works for a living. Straight 6 durability is impressive. But for some, a truck has to be built in Japan to truly earn the title of unbreakable. And this next one is the most overbuilt V6 Toyota ever made. Number 4 is the Toyota T100 with the 3.4-liter 5VZF EV6. Before the Tundra, there was the T100. It was built entirely in Japan and was engineered to a standard that simply doesn't exist anymore. The 3.4-liter V6 is often cited by Toyota mechanics as their absolute favorite engine. It is simpler than the later 4.0-liter engines, with a much more robust head gasket design and a cooling system that is vastly oversized for the truck's need. This engine doesn't chase horsepower, it chases thermal stability. It runs cool even under heavy loads, which protects the seals and gaskets for decades. 300,000 miles isn't a milestone for a T100, it's just the halfway point. Expect to pay between $6,000 and $12,000 for a clean one. It's a full-size truck feel, with legendary small truck reliability. The T100 is for the Toyota purist, but if you want the absolute cheapest ownership experience in the V6 category, the next American workhorse is the undisputed king of parts availability. Number 3 is the 1998 to 2011 Ford Ranger, specifically with the 3.0-liter Vulcan V6. This engine was nicknamed the Vulcan for a reason. It is forged in the fire of simplicity. It is an all-iron pushrod engine that makes very little power but offers infinite durability. It doesn't have a single high-tech bone in its body, and that is why it lasts forever. There are no cam phasers to rattle, no turbos to fail, and no complex electronics to chase. It is a slow, steady, and predictable machine. If it does need a part, you can find it in any salvage yard or parts store for pennies. These trucks are the backbone of small business fleets for a reason. You can still find these Rangers everywhere for $5,000 to $10,000. It is the most stress-free truck you can own. Simplicity is great for a daily driver. But what if your life depends on it? What if you need a truck that can run on any fuel, in any temperature, for half a century? That's where the Europeans enter the list. Number 2 is the Mercedes-Benz 290GD, the commercial version of the G-Wagon. This is not the luxury SUV you see in Beverly Hills. This is a military-grade tool featuring the OM602 5-cylinder diesel. This engine uses a mechanical fuel injection pump that can, quite literally, run on filtered vegetable oil if necessary. It has no ECU, no complex wiring, and a cooling system designed for the desert. This is a million-mile engine. The 5-cylinder design is smooth and incredibly durable. In the professional mechanic world, the OM602 is regarded as one of the finest diesel engines ever cast. Because of their rarity and military heritage, they are expensive, often ranging from $25,000 to $45,000, but they are a lifetime investment. You don't buy a 290GD for a few years, you buy it for your grandchildren. The Mercedes is a masterpiece, but even it has to bow to the undisputed king of the forever engine. This is the motor that fueled the United Nations and every remote outpost on the planet. Number 1 is the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series, equipped with the 1HZ 4.2-liter naturally aspirated diesel. This is the god tier of engines. It is a 6-cylinder, indirect injection diesel with zero electronics, no turbo to fail, no intercooler to leak, and no sensors to leave you stranded. It is a heavy, slow-revving piece of industrial art. The 1HZ was designed with one goal: to be the most reliable internal combustion engine ever created. It is the engine of choice for NGOs and mining companies worldwide, because it can be repaired in the middle of a jungle with basic hand tools. 500,000 miles is just a warm-up for a 1HZ. It is the absolute definition of forever. Since these were never officially sold in many Western markets, you have to find an import, with prices starting at $25,000 and going up to $60,000 for newer models. It is the last engine you will ever need to buy.